Welcome back to my channel, guys. I'm your famous, friendly, family favorite fantasy football guy, and I'm here to go over Sunday's NFL DFS for the 13-game main slate. I'm looking at DraftKings. You guys might be using FanDuel or something else, but DraftKings is what I prefer to use. I'm not an affiliate of any kind. I just that's what I've always liked to use, guys. So that's what I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to be breaking down these matchups to hopefully help you guys out in your lineup building. I'm going to start with the quarterbacks, and I have looked over the quarterbacks some. I haven't looked over really the rest of these guys at all, the rest of these positions. So you'll be hearing my first take on it, I guess, as we go along. I'm going to try to make this quick, guys. And just up front, I apologize for any background noise. I'm actually in the great outdoors at the moment. So anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. And I'll just be real with you guys. There are a lot of quarterbacks that I'm going to be skipping over today because there are not a lot of matchups that I like, and there are plenty of injured quarterbacks that we're going to have to pass on today. One of them you can look at, though, or we can go ahead and look at and break down, is Baker Mayfield. The Jets ranked 21st against the quarterback and 13th against the pass. I think he looks like he's in an okay spot here, guys. Not one of my favorites on this slate, but it actually almost gets better the cheaper we go down on salary. We can look at Jordan Love. I don't love the matchup here either, guys. The Browns are 15th against the quarterback, but they were 3rd against the pass thus far this season. So not really liking that matchup as much. I just thought maybe it would be worth looking at. I guess it really wasn't, in my opinion. But, yeah, man, there's some good quarterbacks we're going to be skipping over here today, guys. Brock Purdy most likely is not going to play. So I'm going to be skipping over him as of the moment I make this video. A good play, though, this week, guys, that I do like a lot. Probably my second favorite on this slate is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is playing the Bears, who are ranked 32nd against the quarterback and 23rd against the pass. Dak thus far this season, week 1 he didn't do very well fantasy wise. He only got 7.82 points. Last week he got 26.14 points. So I fully expect him to do well here, guys. Let's see. I say last week. Yeah, last week. Let's see, guys. Apologize for that little glitch there. Little space out moment. I want to like Bo Nix here. I don't think I love the spot against the Chargers, so I'm not even going to look at that. Hopefully he does well because I'm a Broncos fan, if you guys haven't heard me say before. The one that I really like, guys, here this week is Caleb Williams. Week 1, 24.2 points. Week 2, 17.98 points, giving him a 21.1 point average. But the Cowboys rank 31st against the quarterback and 30th against the pass. I think Caleb Williams is going to be top 5, top 3 quarterback this week. I do. I think I'm going to skip over Browning here. Not loving the spot against Minnesota. CJ Stroud, I guess we could take a glance at, guys. The Jaguars are 22nd against the quarterback, 19th against the pass. So I don't think he would be a bad play here. I want to look at Daniel Jones just because of his production so far and how well he did against my Broncos. Although I've heard they have some injuries. I feel like I heard Pat Surtain was injured, so that really doesn't help the Broncos defense. But the Titans ranked third against the quarterback, but they ranked 21st against the pass. And like I said, how Daniel Jones did against my Broncos, I wouldn't blame you if you picked him here. I really wouldn't, but I don't love the matchup. Drake May, I think, could do very well here. 16.78 points week 1, 26.3 in week 2. He's playing the Steelers, who are 28th against the quarterback and 25th against the pass. Their rush defense is terrible as well, so that will take pressure off Drake May. I think Drake May is an excellent choice here. I don't think I like him as much as I do Caleb Williams. But I still think he's a good play here, guys. And then I would be amiss if I did not mention Aaron Rodgers' spot here. 25.66 points in week 1, only 12.42 last week against Seattle. However, New England's ranked 26th against the quarterback and 32nd against the pass. Aaron Rodgers is in a golden spot this week, guys. And the rush defense for New England looked pretty good, so they're going to have to pass in this game. And this is Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he can put the ball in a tight window. He can hit his receivers. He knows what he's doing. I don't even think I need to say he's proven he knows what he's doing. Everybody knows Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback. So, yeah. With that said, he's in a great spot. I'm going to not look at Geno Smith here. Sam Darnold, he hasn't produced much the last couple of weeks, guys. But the Saints ranked 24th against the pass, 13th or against the quarterback, and 13th against the pass. I think he could do well here. With that said, the next one that I do like quite a bit is Mac Jones. He got 22.76 points against New Orleans in week 2 for the 49ers, but the Cardinals are 20th against the quarterback, 26th against the pass. I think he is set up well here, guys. The next one that I would look at, and actually the last one I'm going to look at here, guys, is Tyrod Taylor. He got 8.34 points last week when he came in for Fields. Fields, I believe, had a concussion. He's still on concussion protocol. So the Buccaneers are 23rd against the quarterback, 24th against the pass. And Tyrod Taylor has a lot of experience in the National Football League, guys. I think he could do well this week. Looking at running backs, you got Christian McCaffrey. Averages 23 points a game. That's what I'm going to break that down. He's had 22.7 in week 2, 23.2 in week 1. If he's not the best running back in the league, he's definitely one of them, guys. And he'd be even better if he hadn't had so many injuries throughout his career. The Cardinals rank 6th against the rush, but 26th against the pass, and Christian McCaffrey can catch a lot of dump balls from his quarterback, especially if his backup quarterback needs a quick out to release to. That's just a good position for him. Cardinals are 13th against the running back. I'm not sure if I said that, but he's in a great spot. Bijan Robinson, my goodness. He's probably he's one of the top backs this year, if not the top. Week 1, 27.4 points. Week 2, 22.8. I don't know if that would give him enough to put him on the top fantasy-wise, because Derrick Henry had that one game that he just went off on. But, yeah, guys, I don't even know if we need to look at his matchup. The Panthers ranked 19th against the running back, 25th against the pass. He's just set up in an okay spot, I would think, but the way he's been playing, I don't even think it matters. The Rams against Saquon Barkley. The Rams ranked 1st against the running back, 17th against the rush. So I expect him to get points, but I don't expect him to be a top back this week. Jonathan Taylor just absolutely ran over my Broncos defense. 32.5 points. I have not seen that yet until right now. That is sad. That is a sad defensive performance from my Broncos. But it could have just been that good from Jonathan Taylor. He's a great back, and they run him like a workhorse. And those are the type of backs that you want. The Titans are 20th against the running back position and 29th against the rush. I think he would be an excellent play. And just judging from what I've seen so far, I'm probably going to try to get him in my lineup this week. Bucky Irving, 16.3 points a game on average. Fantasy points, that is. The Jets are 26th against the running back, 24th against the rush. I would recommend picking him this week. I'm not going to say I recommend him over those previous players we just talked about, but I think he would be a good play this week. Not going to look at Jacobs. Look at Brown here this week, guys, because they're not going to have Joe Burrow. The Vikings are 22nd against the running back, 31st against the rush. Chase Brown might be very heavily relied on this week for Browning and the Bengals to have a good game here. I think he would be a great player to play this week. And what I'm starting to see is the frustrating scenario where there's so many running backs that it makes it hard to just pick 2 or 3 if you use one in a flex position. Not loving Genty's matchup here, guys. Connor is a good back. He had a good matchup, I think, last week, possibly the week before, and hasn't done a whole lot yet. I don't think I love his position. Alvin Kamara, great back. Hasn't done too much so far, but Seattle ranks 30th against the running back position and 11th against the rush. It's tempting. I really do like Alvin Kamara. I don't think I would play him here. Oh my goodness, guys. Javonte Williams. Since he left my Broncos, this is sad. I mean, for me as a Broncos fan, to now see him doing so well, I'm happy for him, don't get me wrong. But where was this production when he was with the Broncos? 25 points in week 2, 20.4 points in week 1. The Bears ranked 29th against the running back, 27th against the rush. I would hopefully not even have to tell you guys that looks like a stellar matchup. Hopefully you can realize that. But if not, that is a stellar matchup, and I would definitely recommend playing him. Again, there's so many backs to choose from, though, guys. Breece Hall, he had a good matchup last week. That might have just looked good on paper because I'm pretty sure it was Derrick Henry who just blew apart Buffalo, right? So it looked good on paper, but he didn't do so well fantasy-wise. The Buccaneers ranked 25th against the running back, 5th against the rush. I don't love the matchup here, and he hasn't produced enough for me. Travis Etienne Jr. Not sure, guys. I like to play. He's cheap in this spot. The Texans are 21st against the running back, 22nd against the rush. I could see the argument to play him, but I don't see playing him over the other running backs that we've talked about. And, guys, now that we are on this player, I need to make an apology. I was calling Kenneth Walker III Kemba Walker on one of my previous, if not multiple previous videos. And I apologize. I must have gone into basketball mode. Kemba Walker is an NBA player. If he's still in the league, he was an NBA player. I don't watch a whole lot of NBA. Football's the sport that I like. But just do some DraftKings and stuff. I somehow had mixed up now Kenneth Walker the third with Kemba Walker. I apologize for that. Now, with that said, he is in a spot this week. He did great last week. He's in a spot against the Saints, who are 23rd against running back, 17th against the rush. Again, I could see you playing him, and I think he'll do good, but I don't see playing him over some of those other running backs that we had mentioned. Mason at Minnesota, he really didn't do much the last 2 weeks. But the Bengals are 31st against running backs, 10th against the rush, though. But the difference in this game, guys, is that Aaron Jones Sr. is injured. He's on the IR. So Mason is going to get more production. He's going to get more volume because of that. I think he could be a decent play this week. Don't know if he would be a great play. Especially because I haven't seen as much usage out of Aaron Jones as I would like to see when he was healthy. He's a really good back. I don't know if maybe because he's an older back now, maybe they're trying to keep him healthy. They're trying to use him. I'm not sure, but I feel like there's more they could get from him. Not sure what that is, guys, but I don't know. I don't think Mason would be a guy that I would pick this week, although he is going to get more usage. Ramondre Stevenson. He had a good game last week, 21.2 points. Week 1, 4.7. That's no bueno. No good there, guys. The Steelers, 24th against the running back, 28th against the rush. I could definitely see why someone would play him this week. And look how cheap he is, $5,300. I don't even know why I'm saying this again, but I'm not sure why I would pick him over some of those more expensive running backs, especially when you could pay down at quarterback this week. That's kind of what I'm saying. My viewpoint is, since I'm seeing quarterbacks so cheap and a lot of good running back spots here, I would rather pay up for running back, I think, this week. With that said, I have not looked at the wide receiver positions yet, guys. I haven't looked at the matchups for wide receivers yet. So those are the running backs I'm going to go over. I'm already making this video longer than I would like. But we keep moving forward. Let's take a look here. We're going to start with, we'll break down Jamar Chase, but just because he was so dominant last week, and I did not look at him last week. I overlooked him thinking he wasn't going to do well because in week 1 he did not. Yeah, Vikings are 3rd against the wide receiver. They're 5th against the pass. I don't like his spot here, guys, but he is Jamar Chase. With that said, he doesn't have Joe Burrow, so I'm not playing him. I'm just not. CeeDee Lamb, I already told you I think Dak's going to do great this week. Who do you think his guy is? It's CeeDee Lamb. 21 points in week 1, 23.2 points in week 2. Bears are 29th against the wide receiver, 23rd against the pass. He is an obvious pick. And yeah, go with him. Let's see. Puka Nacua, 26.1 in week 1, 27.6 in week 2. The Eagles are 10th against the wide receiver, 8th against the pass. I don't love his matchup, but the guy he gets just so much volume. I don't know that you could ever really rule him out. Like him as a player. So, yeah, guys, I would not blame you if you picked Puka Nacua. I am not going to play him this week, however. All right, guys, Justin Jefferson. He has not done a whole lot this week. McCarthy, I believe, was hurt. Bengals are 19th against the wide receiver, however, and 28th against the pass. He's such a good player. I'm not sure you can rule him out either. Nico Collins, I thought he was going to start just absolutely taking over that game last week. He ended up playing. I mean, he did decent. Didn't do great, I guess, fantasy points wise, but he definitely played decent. The Jaguars are 26th against the wide receiver, 19th against the pass. I could see you playing Collins. Yeah, my favorite here, guys, is still going to be CeeDee Lamb. I mean, that's my favorite that I'm seeing. Ladd McConkey has not done a whole lot for me anyways, because I have played him a couple times. And whether it be a showdown or a main slate, he has not produced a whole lot for me. So I'm not going to play him against my Broncos. Mike Evans, I think, looks okay here. Don't think he looks great. And I think Emeka Egbuka has been stealing a lot of the thunder there. And I mean, I can't blame him for it. He was a Buckeye, so just going to throw that out there. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 21.3 points week 2, 23.4 in week 1. But the Saints are eighth against the wide receiver. I would not have thought that at the beginning of the season. You would have told me the Saints would be that good against the wide receiver. But they are, and they're 13th against the pass. I don't love the matchup, but he gets a lot of usage, so can't blame me for using him. Brian Thomas Jr. Not a lot of production so far, guys. Good matchup on paper. Texans are 24th against the wide receiver, 17th against the pass. I'm not playing them. And you know, I said that about Egbuka. I didn't realize that he was injured. Apparently he's injured, hip/groin, but he is expected to play in Sunday's game against the Jets, so don't think it matters a whole lot. You already saw the matchup, but he's been doing good. 23.6 points in week 1, 12.9 in week 2. I like him. I'm going to start skipping over a lot of these guys just for the sake of time, and I'm not really seeing the matchups that look great. Deebo Samuel, though, 22.6 points in week 1, 17.4 in week 2. Raiders are 28th against the wide receiver, 27th against the pass. I do not see a reason why you shouldn't play Deebo this week. Again, skipping over these guys pretty quickly now. George Pickens could be a good pick here. I would prefer CeeDee Lamb still, and I don't know that I'd play both of them. Yeah, I don't love that either. Just trying to find some stuff here for you guys. They call him Scary Terry. I'm not well, I like his matchup, guys, but he hasn't produced a whole lot of points this year, fantasy-wise. And his quarterback is injured, so not sure what we think of that. But the Raiders are 28th against the wide receiver, 27th against the pass. So I like his matchup. Don't like the production he's put out. DK Metcalf, same thing. He hasn't put out much production. But the Patriots are 30th against the wide receiver and 32nd against the pass. So he's got Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, guys. He could be a good player to play this week. And somewhere you're going to have to get different in your lineups. So I think he could do well. Ricky Pearsall, another player that could do well here, guys. Arizona is 23rd against the wide receiver position and 26th against the pass. So I think he could be just in a decent spot here, guys. I apologize for any noise. Actually recording this in my car and trying to keep the noise down. I apologize. I don't have a studio, so but still trying to put out some decent videos to help you guys out. Yeah, back to the show. The Cardinals 23rd against wide receiver, 26th against the pass. He's playing with a backup quarterback, most likely, but I don't think I'm going to pick him. DJ Moore. Caleb Williams is going to be my quarterback this week, I believe. If not, maybe Dak, but I think I'm going to go with Caleb Williams, most likely. Cowboys are 31st against the wide receiver, 30th against the pass. But DJ Moore averages 9.6 points a game. Odunze, because of last week, mostly averages 25.2 points a game, 34.8 points in week 2, 15.7 in week 1. I think Caleb Williams likes to throw him the ball. Only thing is, guys, he's going to be chalky. He's going to be very chalky. So, look how cheap he is, $5,300. He's going to be very chalky. So, up to you whether you want to go that way or not. But I could definitely see people regretting not playing him if he does go off, especially when everybody else and their brother is going to have him. Everybody and their brother and their mom is going to play him. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Jawan Jennings, what's the ankle/shoulder injury? Questionable for Sunday's game. He didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday. It wasn't spotted by reporters at Friday's session. It doesn't look like he's playing to me, guys. But if he does, he got 19.9 points last week. Cardinals are ranked 23rd against the wide receiver, 26th against the pass. He's in a good spot if he does play. I guess we'll look at Travis Hunter. He hasn't done a whole lot thus far this year, guys. Texans 24th against the wide receiver, 22nd against, or I'm sorry, not 22nd. Let's go back to that. 17th against the pass. We already saw that because we looked at Brian Thomas Jr. Not loving him there, guys. Michael Pittman Jr., 20 points in week 1, only 8 in week 2. That was against the Broncos, though, guys, who I think have a pretty decent defense. Titans were 27th against the wide receiver, 21st against the pass. I think Pittman Jr. is in a good spot here for you guys. I want to see more from Diggs. I want to see more from Diggs, but he's got a good matchup. Steelers are 21st against wide receiver, 25th against the pass. Keenan Allen is pretty cheap, guy. $4,700 for Keenan Allen, who is now, I clicked on him and backed out. 18.5 points in a game on average. But the Broncos are 4th against, we'll click on it. Broncos are 4th against the wide receiver, 9th against the pass. I expect them to play better this week than they did last week, their defense. So I don't think he'll do a whole lot. Christian Kirk does not carry an injury designation for Sunday's game against the Jaguars. He missed the first 2 games, guys, with the hamstring issue. Looks like he might play in this game. I like Christian Kirk. I'm interested to see what will happen when he's got C.J. Stroud throwing to him. Jaguars are 26th against the wide receiver, 19th against the pass. Like we said before, I think he's in a good spot. How much are they going to use him coming back from that injury is the question. Take a look at Kayshawn, that I am still yet to figure out how to pronounce his last name, so I apologize. I don't want to get it wrong. I'm just going to call him Kayshawn, or good old KB, guys. Steelers are 21st against the wide receiver, 25th against the pass. and he averages 14 points a game. I think he's in a good spot here. I could see someone playing him. Wow, this show's getting longer as I go along. I better speed things up for you guys. I apologize. I'm going to skip over a lot of these guys down here at the bottom. Calvin Austin the third, I can see the argument for playing him. He had a good week one. Kevontae Turpin, I could see why you would play him this week. Since Dak's going to have a good week, he'll have maybe a decent week. Turpin, guys. Yeah, I'm going to skip over some of these lower price, lower salary guys, and we're going to move on to the tight end. And I'll try to end this show for you guys pretty quickly. But Bryce Bowers, he didn't do very well last week. I'm hitting all kinds of buttons, not meaning to, guys. 8.8 points last week, 18.3 in week one. The Commanders are 28th against the tight end, though, and 18th against the pass. As long as he's healthy, he's set up golden. Trey McBride, I think you could almost play every week. The 49ers are 12th against the tight end, 6th against the pass. I'm not loving that spot for him, but he gets so much volume. Warren, he's gotten double digits each week. Titans are 19th against the tight end, 21st against the pass. That'd be a good spot for Warren. He gets a lot of usage. David Njoku, I want to say that's a good spot for him, guys, but 7.4 is his average this year. I think possibly because of that second tight end, Fannin, I want to say was his name. I'm going to have to take a look at that, but he'll probably get more usage this week. Zach Ertz doesn't have a great matchup, but look at what he's produced, 15 points a game. Oakland, my goodness. Las Vegas, my apologies. Las Vegas is 5th against the tight end, but they're 27th against the pass. So I can see Zach Ertz getting some usage. Don't love Ferguson's matchup here. Bears are 18th against the tight end, but he's in an okay spot for sure. I mean, I just expect Dallas to have a good game all around this week. Jawan Johnson, guys, 15 points each game. He's played 15.6 and 15.9. Seahawks are 31st against tight ends. I think he might be my favorite tight end play this week, and I'm hitting buttons again that I didn't mean to. So I'm going to say him and Bowers are my top two favorite this week thus far from what I've seen. Let's go ahead and look at Kyle Pitts. He has not done a whole lot for me yet, but the Panthers are 29th against the tight end, so I think he's definitely at play. I'm not going to be looking at Hawkinson, Goddard, Jonnu Smith. I think 6.7 points last week, 12.5 in week one. But New England's 32nd against the tight end, 32nd against the pass. I could clearly see why you would play Jawan Jennings. Guys, my goodness. Jonnu Smith. My apologies. Yeah, here's Harold Fannin Jr. He's the guy I was talking about as to why Njoku, I think, has not gotten so many points. 13.6 in week one, 9.8 in week two. Good matchup, looks like, for him. I could see him being at play. Otten has not done a whole lot as he oughtn't to. So, excuse me, guys. I make a lot of dad jokes, and you're probably going to find that out if you keep listening to my channel. So, you don't have to laugh. I don't expect you to, but yeah, you're probably going to hear some. Luke Farrell looks like I'm not even gonna look at all these guys. Fryermuth, um, it's a good spot, but you know, with that said, uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Fryermuth this week. I don't think I'm gonna play him. Um, Steelers. Yeah, New England's 32nd against tight end. I could see why you would play him. Um, but with Jonnu Smith, I think you play Jonnu Smith over Fryermuth. Um, I don't think I'm gonna look at any more tight ends, guys. Maybe this guy. One more. We'll look at him. Jake Tongs. I don't know how. I've never heard of this guy. I've heard of him, looking at him over the last few weeks on DraftKings, but I don't know how to pronounce his last name, and I'm not gonna pretend to. So yeah, my apologies to Jake and to anybody listening. But the Cardinals are 27th against the tight end, 26th against the pass. Uh, I could see him being a good play this week if, yeah, because George Kittle's injured, right? Let's take a look at that real quick, because honestly, I don't know that I knew that George Kittle was injured, but he's on the IR. So yeah, that looks like Jake could be a good pick here, guys. Um, well, I'm gonna call that a day for the tight ends because I'm not seeing a whole lot more below that. We'll take a quick gander at the defenses, and then I'm gonna end this show for you guys. But the Packers defense against Cleveland, uh, fantasy point wise, they have not done that great, but as a defense, they are doing phenomenal this year. Um, I could easily see you playing them. Seahawks at the Saints, I could definitely see that. Um, Colts at Tennessee, maybe. Atlanta at Carolina. I would keep an eye on that game, guys, because Atlanta did really good against Minnesota. And the Panthers ranked 30th against the defense. I think I might play the Falcons this week. Um, if not the Broncos, because I believe that last week was literally just because uh, they played the Colts, who I think are just playing really good football. I haven't really got to watch the Colts, so I'm not so certain of that, but I think my Broncos will do better this week than they did last week. I think the 49ers could have a good week on defense. Jaguars, they've looked good. I get at 9.5 points a game so far. Houston's 23rd against the defense. That could be a good pick. The other one's New England against Pittsburgh. I don't know how well I expect them to do against Aaron Rodgers. The Bengals at Minnesota, though, guys, because McCarthy is out, and Minnesota ranked 31st against the defense. Anyways, I think the Bengals could be a solid pick at defense as well. Just to give you guys maybe a quick idea of something, a lineup that I'm probably interested in playing. I think the toughest spot here is going to be going through these running backs and picking who you like best. Javonte Williams is cheap. I think I'm going to throw Javonte in there. I think I'm going to go throw... man, I want to play Brown. I want to play Robinson. I want to play McCaffrey. I'm going to throw McCaffrey in there. CeeDee Lamb. Who all can we throw in here, guys? Who all do we like quite a bit this week? There really wasn't that many wide receivers that I was thrilled with. Um, we'll just say Odunze for fun. We'll pick a tight end. We'll leave that last wide receiver position as our question mark, just so I don't give you a complete lineup. uh, don't want to let you know who I'm going to end up playing. And guys, I'll probably end up changing this up, but just to give you an idea of a lineup that I like. Probably at flex, I'll do like Robinson. 2,500 remaining. Yeah, we're gonna have to change this up because that's not gonna leave enough salary cap with these players in there. But these are the players that I like the most this week, I believe, guys. With that said, I appreciate you sticking with me. This has been a long show. I apologize to go so long. But I thank you for being here, and hopefully you enjoyed listening to me talk about football. And I will look forward to having you guys here the next time. Thank you so much. Bye.